Welcome to the presentation on Aviate, the newest program by the Department of Housing and Residence Life at the University of Dayton. Aviate, which stands for A Vision for Integrated, Applied, and Transformative Education, is the center topic for this presentation. Over the years, the university became dissatisfied with using a lottery as a tool to assign students into residential housing, as senior administration believed that there was a more strategic way that Housing and Residence Life could maximize the use of its housing. Furthermore, attempts over the years to apply strategy to a tool that inherently was based on luck and chance resulted in a process that was difficult for students to understand and navigate. Over time, the housing assignment process became a conduct process. The addition of conduct points added layers of complexity to the process that made it difficult for students to understand. The conduct points also added a punitive aspect to the process that resulted in some housing being viewed as undesirable. In 2012, Bill Fisher, Vice President for Student Development, convened a task force composed of faculty, staff, and students to determine how the assignment process could provide students with an opportunity to integrate learning that was occurring in the classroom with experiences that were occurring in their living environments. As part of its work, the task force interviewed peer institutions to learn more information about their assignment processes and convened focus groups with faculty, staff, and students to gain an understanding of their experience with the UD's assignment process. The task force discovered that our peer institutions were using many of the methods that we no longer found to be useful. The task force also learned that students want agency within the process and that learning opportunities should be available for students to select within the assignment process. Ultimately, the focus groups with faculty and staff confirmed that the conduct point system was ineffective and that the lottery was an ineffective tool for assigning students into housing. In January 2013, the provost at the time, Dr. Saliba, indicated that we were not dreaming big enough. While Dr. Saliba appreciated the work that had been completed on the new assignment process, he believed that the task force had overlooked an opportunity to transform our students' residential learning experience in a significant and impactful way. For him, redesigning the assignment process was an opportunity to explore how the university could craft a learning experience for its students that prepared them to be leaders in the Catholic and Marianist tradition. What resulted from this charge was a new committee composed of faculty, staff, and students that was tasked with mapping learning outside of the classroom across 4 years and developing a 4-year developmentally sequenced curriculum for students in residence. Being challenged to construct learning for students in residence helped the Housing and Residence Life leadership realize that there was a more strategic way to maximize the use of its housing. It was from there that the leadership resolved that a student's engagement in the department's curriculum would determine his or her likelihood of obtaining his or her desired housing. The alignment between the housing assignment process and the newly developed curriculum would ensure that a student's development was supported through his or her housing options. In May 2013, the University Assignment Task Force completed its work. In March 2014, Housing and Residence Life launched a new assignment process for rising sophomores that allowed students to prioritize design learning experiences, to select roommates, and to prioritize room types. The best place to start in describing Aviate is to discuss the flight plan. The flight plan is the blueprint that provides you with the tools and support needed to enhance your residential experience at the University of Dayton. Because Aviate is defined as to fly, the program supports the mindset that as a student, you can take control of your educational journey, setting goals to help you succeed, and taking the steps to use the resources available to reach that destination. The flight plan, which is a printed document that is available to students, answers 3 questions. What is Aviate? Why should I participate? And how can I get started? As mentioned before, Aviate is the vision that sets the stage for learning in residence. Included in that vision are several other key elements. The first piece of Aviate is that it includes a set of 3 learning goals. Learning goals are focused on the development of each student as a whole person and a well-rounded world citizen. Learning goals are what we hope that at the end of your time at UD you will have learned. The first learning goal of Aviate is authorship. The second learning goal is interculturalism. And the third learning goal is community living. When you look at the vision for integrated, applied, and transformative education found within the flight plan, you will see that each learning goal is expanded upon, more clearly articulating its meaning. Below each learning goal is a set of 3 bulleted points. These are the second element of Aviate, referred to as learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are, to put it simply, what you as a student should be able to do as a result of participating in Aviate. The first learning goal is authorship. Educational experiences that address the authorship learning goal allow students to engage with others to identify personal values and spiritual identity, demonstrate respect and appreciation of others' perspectives, recognize how their behavior impacts others, and provide leadership that enhances the dignity and respect of individuals. The learning goal is supported by 3 learning outcomes that are developmentally sequenced. As you enter the university, many of your educational opportunities will focus on the first learning outcome. As you progress throughout the university, you will encounter educational experiences that reflect the learning captured in outcomes 2 and 3. The second learning goal is interculturalism. Educational experiences that address the interculturalism learning goal allow students to gain an understanding of their own identity through learning about other cultures and their history, beliefs, and languages. You will notice that there are 3 developmentally sequenced learning outcomes that support the interculturalism learning goal. Community living is the third learning goal. Community living opportunities will prepare you to be an engaged, active, responsible community member who prioritizes the common good over the needs of the individual. Below are the 3 learning outcomes that support the community living learning goal. So Aviate is the vision and includes goals for what students will learn in their time at UD and outcomes for what students should be able to do as a result of living on campus. The final part of Aviate is that it is integrated with the housing assignments process. We will touch on this more in later slides. So why should I participate? A question we often get is if students are already involved in learning in the classroom or in other activities on campus, what's the point in worrying about activities in residence? The answer to that question is that there are a number of reasons why. Here are some of the reasons based on actual research and surveyed students that support why. You're more likely to have a higher GPA. You're more likely to finish college. You're more likely to be satisfied with your residential experience. You're more likely to develop life skills necessary for your future. You're more likely to have higher gains in areas of values and ethics, being an active, informed citizen, working effectively with others, solving complex, real-life problems, and acquiring job or work-related knowledge and skills. We have covered what and the why, and the next piece is how. In order to get involved in Aviate, the first step is to learn about the engagement opportunities available to students. In most cases, these opportunities are called engagement opportunities, or EOS. Engagement opportunities are the active elements of your flight plan. It's what you do in order to work towards reaching the goals and objectives that you set out to reach. The flight plan, as mentioned earlier, is one way to learn more. Let's break it down to show how to utilize the information available in the flight plan. The flight plan includes a number of opportunities available to you that have already been identified for the academic year. Using the key provided in the flight plan, you can identify a number of pieces of information pertaining to an event. The learning goal, or goals that the event is linked to, in this case, the blue flag represents the learning goal of interculturalism. The name of the event, in this example, the Freedom Center trip. Here is where you will see one or more orange circles, indicating the student experiences that the event is open to. FYE stands for the first year experience, SYE stands for the second year experience, or students that identify as sophomores, and UDE stands for the upper division experience, which includes all junior and senior students. If the event has a purple house, this indicates an alignment of the engagement opportunity to the housing assignments process. We will expand upon this further in coming slides. To the right of the event, you will see a calendar infographic that identifies the date or the time of the year that the event is being held. It is important to note that some events are one-time events while others are ongoing. Finally, when reviewing the flight plan events listed, each opportunity will include a brief summary of what a student might anticipate through participation. To supplement the information listed in the flight plan regarding opportunities, there are a few additional points to understand. The first is that some engagement opportunities will require pre-registration. In such cases, it will be pointed out within the summary of the event. It is important to note that there is a difference between RSVPing and registering. In using the online system that we will discuss in the next slide, RSVPs are more of a courtesy to allow facilitators to get a sense of how many will attend, thus allowing them to adjust room size or catering if necessary. Registering typically indicates that students are required to commit to and share that commitment with the facilitators for planning purposes or reasons around limited space. Next, due to space and staffing limitations, all opportunities are on a first come, first served basis. In the event that there are more students interested in participating than space or staffing can allow, there is the possibility that the opportunity may be provided an additional time. Another item important to mention is that the list of engagement opportunities listed in the flight plan is not exhaustive. As additional opportunities continue to be identified, online communications, email, and print marketing may be used to ensure students are made aware.
The next resource available to students to help you learn about the opportunities, in addition to the printed flight plan or the blueprint for the tools and support to get involved, is OrgSync. OrgSync is an online community program that the University of Dayton is using to help get students involved and can be found at www.orgsync.com. You can also find this link through Porches by going to the Flyers First section. As a student or staff member at the University of Dayton, you are already registered to OrgSync. To get started, when you visit orgsync.com and select Sign in with your campus ID, you will be directed to the University of Dayton's specific access page. From there, you will be taken to the University of Dayton's login and can use your username and password. Once you have logged in for the first time, OrgSync will guide you through several prompting questions to establish your basic profile information. After you have established your basic profile, you will be led to the University of Dayton community homepage, which will look like this. On the left side of the page, you will see the umbrella organizations that you are automatically a part of due to your status as a UD student or staff member. On the right side of the page, you will see upcoming events that you are invited to participate in based on your classification as a student or as the result of other organizations that you choose to join. As a University of Dayton student, there are several organization portals that you will automatically be a member of. One is Aviate. Although the program is geared specifically towards learning within residence, all students, regardless of where they live, will have access to this portal in order to learn more about ways to get involved. If you are a residential student, another portal which you will have access to is the area portal, or the portal that corresponds with the living community that you are a part of. A third group that all students are automatically a part of is the Center for Student Involvement, or CSI. The first time that you log in, there may be additional organizational portals that show up in your My Memberships tab, depending upon the things you are involved in on campus. You can click on All Memberships for a complete list of the organizations you are joined to, or you can click on one of the portals listed to be directed to that site. In the event that you don't have immediate access to a group upon your first login, in most cases, you also have the ability to manually join. To do this, start from the University of Dayton community or homepage as seen here and click on Browse Organizations. From there, you will see a search bar where you can type in the name or a keyword to identify the group that you are searching for. Once you have entered the name of the group or organization you are searching for and identified whether or not it exists, simply click on the portal that shows below. If the organizational portal is open, you will see a button to the right that says Join Now. In some cases, you may need to request permission and be granted access by an administrator. In other instances, you may be asked to enter a password. For all portals related to housing and residence life, any student or staff member has the ability to join, regardless of where he or she may live, including off campus. If the group is open, simply confirm that you would like to join the portal, and from that point forward, you should see the name of the portal within your My Membership section. Now let's return back to Aviate. If you were to click on the Aviate portal from your My Memberships tab, you would be directed to the homepage for Aviate. From this page, there are a number of places you can go to get more information. From the feed page, you will be able to see a list of recent news or upcoming events that you are able to attend. If we click on an event from the home feed, such as the Class of 2017 Luau, it will bring us to that event page. On this page, there is a lot of information available to learn more. Here you will find the date and time of the event, as well as the location of the event. You can RSVP so that the event will show up in your calendar and also send you reminders and updates. RSVPing to events is also important because it allows facilitators to have accurate numbers in the event that a change of space is needed or catering is being ordered. Again, it is important to note that RSVP option is different than registration. If an event requires registration, the information on how to register will be provided in the summary. For every event, similar to in the flight plan, this summary will be provided to explain what the event is all about. On this page, it also allows you to share the event with others that you think might be interested. If you plan to attend an event and would like your friends to know about it, you can share the information on Facebook, Twitter, or by emailing a URL link. In some instances, certain events will be ongoing and therefore will not have an exact date or time indicated on the calendar in Aviate. Community building meetings are a good example of this. Here, you will see that the October Community Building Meetings, or CBMs, can take place anytime between October 1st and October 31st, and also that no specific event location is listed, because it will vary by area and floor. In order to find out more information pertaining to your CBM for the month, a link will be provided for you at the bottom of the page, which will take you to the appropriate calendar for that area. Once you are brought to your area's portal calendar, you will be able to view all posted events for that month. If you are looking for a specific kind of event, such as community building meetings, you can also use the categories filter by clicking all categories and selecting the category appropriate to the event you are searching for. Some EOs or engagement opportunities, due to the nature of participation being such that you are in control of determining when they happen, will not show up on the calendar. Flyer Host, an engagement opportunity for upper division experienced students, that is juniors and seniors, is a good example. In these instances, opportunities will be promoted on the news page of Aviate. Be sure to visit this page frequently in order to stay in the loop on great opportunities available for you to be involved. In addition to the flight plan and OrgSync, you can also stay informed about opportunities to get involved by talking to your RA or fellow or keeping an eye out for advertisements in your area and throughout campus. And as always, your area's desk, bulletin boards, and campus flyers will be utilized to get the word out. So how does this impact my housing? In the beginning of the presentation, we pointed out the 3 questions which are answered within the flight plan. What is Aviate? Why should I participate? And how can I get started? Another question that we know many of you are wondering is, how does this impact my housing? When we talk about Aviate as the vision for learning, there are 2 pieces that fall within that vision. The flight plan, which we discussed being the blueprint for how to get involved, including the resources and tools you need to do so, and the housing assignments process. Serving as the connection between the flight plan and the housing assignments process, there is PATH, which stands for Points Accumulated Towards Housing. PATH is the alignment of the flight plan and the housing assignments process. As a result of participation in certain opportunities within the flight plan, you can earn points that reward your involvement and help you to achieve a higher likelihood of receiving your preferred housing assignment within the housing assignments process. In terms of the logistics for how to actually get PATH credit, there are 4 steps that will occur. The first is simple. Attend any opportunity that is eligible for PATH. The second is that you have to have your participation tracked. There are 3 possible ways that this will occur. 1, you will be asked to use your flyer card to swipe in. This point also serves as a reminder of the importance of carrying your UDID at all times. The second is that an HRL or a University of Dayton staff member will manually track your attendance online using OrgSync. And 3, you may be asked to sign in to a paper attendance sheet. If your attendance is being tracked using either of the first 2 methods, you will immediately receive notification from OrgSync, indicating that your participation has been entered. To ensure there are no issues with your attendance being recorded, it is encouraged that all students review their OrgSync account shortly following their participation in an event and contact the facilitator as soon as possible in the event of an error. The fourth, final, and possibly most important step in the PATH process is completion of a post-event reflection form. This form will be made available to you immediately upon having your involvement entered in the system. In order to get credit for PATH, students must not only be physically present at the opportunity, but he or she must fill out a brief reflection that identifies what kind of learning took place. The questions on the post-event reflection form are brief and are meant to provide the opportunity for students to make space for themselves to think about what they may have gotten out of the experience. The questions are either multiple choice or short answer and should not take more than 5 minutes to complete. In order for the reflection to be marked as complete, it is critical that you complete the post-event reflection form within 30 days of the event. At the end of every month, a reminder email will be sent to all students encouraging them to check their recent involvement credits and ensure that all post-event forms have been complete. Although 30 days is the cutoff for completing these forms, it is always encouraged for students to complete this reflection form within 24 hours of the event while the experience is still fresh in one's mind. Because Aviate is being launched mid-semester, we recognize that many PATH-eligible events have already occurred. As a result, students will automatically be granted participation for any event he or she would have been eligible to attend prior to the launch of Aviate, to ensure that they have the opportunity. That being said, each student must still complete the reflection form in order to get the PATH credit. If a student did not attend the event, he or she may still complete the reflection, simply indicating the reasons why they weren't able to attend and providing a response as to what they believe they may have gotten out of the experience. As pilots of your own journey, there are ways in which you can utilize OrgSync to track your experiences and know how much PATH credit you have accumulated throughout the year. From any page within OrgSync, you can click on your profile in the top right. Here, Rudy Flyer is our example student. From your profile page, you will notice a new notification and a number representing the number of new notification alerts. By clicking on notifications, you will be taken to a page that captures any and all notification alerts for your account. Here, on Rudy's page, you can see that someone has credited him for attending the Class of 2017 Luau, and that a post-event form is ready for him to complete in order to receive PATH credit. From here, you can click the link directly and take you to that form. Another way you can see any forms needing to be completed, as well as a list of your prior activities, is to visit your Involvement tab from your account. From your involvement history page, you will notice an orange cone at the top right, indicating that there is activity needing your attention. This is usually an indicator that there is a post-event form that has not been completed. Once you've clicked on the notification, you will be led to a page of any and all incomplete activities needing your attention and can fill out the necessary forms. Over the course of the year, you can track all of your campus involvement from various organizations, as well as keep track of the number of PATH credit identified as hours that you have accumulated. To make it easier to view your PATH credit, you can filter activities by searching only those related to Aviate. Another thing that is important to note is that all Aviate events eligible for PATH credit are worth one single point. In the event that more than 1 hour is listed, it is likely due to human error and will be corrected prior to the final tally of each individual's PATH credit upon beginning the housing assignments process.
So how will PATH play out? In terms of PATH, there are some additional pieces of information that will also be helpful to know. First, each experience, that is, first year experience, second year experience, or upper division experience, has a set number of baseline opportunities that will be eligible for PATH. These baseline opportunities are only open to students within that experience. Because current sophomores, juniors, and seniors will all be participating in the same assignments process for the next school year, it is important that the number of points in those experiences remain equal, so as not to give any specific cohort of students an advantage over another simply due to class standing. Although those baseline experience specific points will always be equal, the opportunity types will always differ. Here you will see a visual breakdown of the baseline experience-specific opportunities which are eligible for PATH. Again, you will see that the second year experience and the upper division experience opportunities are varied, yet both will result in a total possible PATH value of 15. Additional opportunities, as mentioned, will continue to come up and will be eligible for PATH. These opportunities will always be open to all students, unlike the opportunities listed here. These additional opportunities will all be advertised through the Aviate OrgSync portal. The experience-specific PATH opportunities identified here are also primarily open to residential students. Because of limited resources in terms of student staff members, who are primarily responsible for the implementation of these experiences, the Department of Housing and Residence Life must commit to first serving those who live within university housing. Although off-campus students will have access to these points, it is important to know that the number of opportunities outside of these baseline points will far exceed 15 or 18, thus allowing everyone a fair opportunity to be as engaged as they desire, thus earning PATH credit and better positioning themselves in the housing assignment process. A question often asked is in regards to special interest housing, design learning experiences, study abroad, co-op, and internships. Special interest housing and design learning experiences will continue to exist and will provide students with two opportunities to attempt to receive their preferred type of housing. By participating in special interest housing or design learning experiences, students can earn up to 3 additional PATH credits beyond what their peers are able to earn. Each point represents the completion of a specific activity, such as attendance at a retreat, completion of service, or accomplishing a SMART goal established at the start of the year. Details around these additional points is available in the flight plan and will also be discussed further late fall semester as the special interest process begins. Regarding study abroad, co-op, and internships, we recognize that these are all fantastic ways to learn about the world and engage with other cultures. If you participate in a co-op or study abroad opportunity, you'll live outside of the university residences and therefore be granted the baseline experience-specific PATH credits that would have otherwise have been available to you if you were on campus. This automatic assignment of PATH credit will ensure that you will not be penalized for your time off campus. If this applies to you, you will be assigned the established number of PATH credit for the term that you're not living on campus. Recognizing that in most cases students participate in these opportunities for one semester of the year rather than the entire year, it is encouraged that students who are studying abroad or co-oping be engaged during the semester that they are on UD's campus in order to give themselves even more PATH credit. Another important thing to keep in mind is that students in most cases do not enter the housing assignments process alone. Each student within a group accumulates points independently. However, it is the combined total of all points of a group's members that helps to establish their priority. That being said, it will be helpful to be in communication with those you intend to live with next year to get a better sense of where you will stand in terms of your PATH credits. Some additional things to know about PATH include that PATH can only be earned from the start of the fall term through March 20th, which is when the housing assignments process will begin. That being said, students will continue to be encouraged to remain active members of their community. Because the special interest housing process begins earlier than the general housing assignment process, PATH credit will only be accumulated up until the start term of the process and will only be used to set the priority for placement of all approved applications. As a reminder, in order for PATH to be fully credited to you, all post-event forms must be completed within 1 month of your participation. On March 20th, the housing assignments process will close and all credit will be tallied. Any events that take place less than 30 days before the March 20th cutoff date will not have as much time for post-event reflections to occur, and it will be up to the individual student to ensure that he or she has completed any activities needing his or her attention. While we recognize there remains more details of the housing assignment process to explain, for now it is primarily important to recognize that PATH credit will determine a group's priority based on the combined sum total of each individual's PATH credit for the group. More details specific to the housing application process will be shared late fall.
In the meantime, we recognize that all of this is new, and as with all new things, there are likely to be a number of questions. Throughout the implementation weeks of Aviate, our staff have gathered an ongoing list of frequently asked questions and the responses. These questions have been made available online for the community to see. To find these frequently asked questions, visit the Aviate portal, click on More, and then click on Pages. Here you will see two pages of information. One is the FAQs. The other is specific to information about PATH. As you can see, there are a list of questions and a response to each. As additional questions come in, our staff will work to continue to update this page. It is important that you start on this page to see if a response to your questions has already been provided. However, in the event that you have visited the FAQ page and still not found a response to your question, you can also submit one directly to us. To do so, again from the Aviate portal, select More and then Bookmarks. On the Bookmarks page is a quick link that is labeled Question Submission. Upon clicking the link, you will be guided to this short form that allows you space to indicate which element of Aviate your question relates to, and also to expand upon your inquiry. By providing your name and email address, a member of our staff will be able to respond to you directly via email or contact you in the event more clarification is needed.